Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another NIKKE reaction. Now, hear me out. I did have to skip last week. There was some issues schedule-wise, so I am not going to be getting to that other song that other people wanted me to do, because now I'm far enough behind that if I don't start getting to Project Matisse stuff now, by the time anything new from the Persona collab that's already out as of recording this, I'm not gonna get to any of it, so I'm just gonna do the Project Matisse title and just start here. So maybe we'll wrap back around at some point, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on that. I just want to hear the Project Matisse stuff. I love the storyline. I didn't hear any of the music, so I want to hear what it sounded like. So without further ado, let's go! Ooh, oh yes. Just jumping in with the energy I was hoping for. Okay. Building up again. Cosmo, you tease. Ooh, oh! Honestly, very Zenless coded, if I may. And I'm totally here for it. Woo! I'm kind of wondering something. I'll bring that up later, though. Ooh! Ooh! Oh, not the guitar in there. Dude. Some great panning in here too, with like the vocal chopping happening in the one ear. Ooh, dude, okay. Damn. Woo. Okay, so I just checked the credits, and of course it was NieN on the guitar. Hell yeah. Okay, so my thoughts on this one were obviously very positive. I love this sound. It's one of my favorite tones that any game could go for. That's why I love the Zenless soundtrack so much, and why I was kind of comparing it to that, because it does have a lot of similar things going on. But at the same time, it still was Cosmo's take on it. This felt very much like the Cash Shop theme, mixed with maybe, especially in some of the synths, a little bit of Persona. I think this might have been a little bit of like a mental warfare in some way, shape, or form, like a psychological warfare preparing people for the sound that was going to be coming in the next patch. I don't know if that was actually the case, but this could have been a little bit of Cosmo messing around with some of those sounds, because it definitely has Persona 5 energy and a lot of the chopping and everything. Some of these synths, again, very similar. So I wonder if a little bit of this wasn't just kind of him playing around and like having some fun with it, and obviously doing his own thing with it, but something that I can see as this hybrid between his older work for like earlier parts of the game and then something new that's yet to come. And that would be perfect in a way for this event and what it was talking about in its narrative, being a little bit of the past bringing to the forward, but also subtly maybe presenting the sound for the new event that's to come. And maybe Cosmo did a little bit of that. I'm not entirely sure how they handled that with the music. I have had the game muted the whole time because I don't want to spoil myself, so I don't know if they're like reusing existing Persona tracks or if they're having remixes involved for any of that. So I don't know if Cosmo was involved in any of that. Whatever the case may be, I feel like this is just a little bit of that, and I love it. I love it so much. It's just so energetic and poppy and dancey and fun. How can you hate this? You know, that's kind of where I'm sitting on this song. There's so much fun happening in here. A lot of good textures, great panning, and I was mentioning that with like the vocals kind of just showing up in the right ear, just a little bit, you know, just for like in between, because like the vocals were panned center for the majority, but there were like little moments where he just like threw them over to the one ear, and that's just keeping things alive, keeping the head kind of present in between the spaces, and it's just so good. I love when composers do that and they play around with the panning. I've always talked about how much I love that, and this is very much a song that keeps all of that present. It keeps things just kind of moving. Do it, you know, keep the song alive, make sure the panning is proper, and don't overdo it. Like, if you're going to be doing anything music production wise yourself, by all means, pan things, keep things like relative to where the listener would be sitting, and kind of play around with where they're stuck, you know? You might not notice it on like computer speakers if you're just listening off a laptop or something, but if you have headphones on, you can definitely feel it, and you can feel some of that if you're listening on speakers. That's just not quite as obvious. So there's functions of keeping things panned and throwing them around while also keeping the general soundscape of the track mixed more broadly. Like, it allows the listener, even if they're not hearing it, to feel more depth in the song. That's why stereo exists, you know? We're not all hearing things in mono, and a lot of phones, even nowadays, every major phone has stereo sound that's really solid, and they balance it very well. So it's like, just mixing mono isn't always the best option. Some cases maybe, but that's very like fine-tuned specific these days. Make a song have some stereo presence, spread things out, play with the room. Just like this song, it was moving around constantly while also keeping most of the beef of the track right in the center channel for everyone's ears to be kind of centered on while you're actually listening. But honestly, now that I've heard this, I'm kind of happy I skipped like Moshu to it. Again, I might go back to those, but I love that I got to listen to this. I did not have a good night's sleep last night, and I was kind of struggling on like whether or not I was going to even be able to record today. So I was hoping that this was going to be something more energetic and just drag me out of my energetic slump. And if you couldn't tell by how hyped I am, the answer is yes, the fuck it did. So I'm on board with everything this soundtrack has now for this event. I don't know how much of it's going to be positive. Again, given some of the narrative, I could definitely see some emotional beats in there. It really just depends on whatever the actual goal is, but there's definitely some spots where I was imagining more toned down tracks. So whatever the case may be, whatever you guys want me to get to, hell, it could honestly be the new Persona stuff if you want me to just jump straight to that after this one. Really just depends. I'll leave that all up to you guys, but I think that's about all I gotta say on this song. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else, maybe later, or go back to the earlier stuff, whatever the case may be, drop it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!